And good morning, Man Hour Nation. Happy Monday, March 18th. Spring break is here. If you are not on spring break, you should be. Everybody's on spring break. But there was some moves over the weekend. Justin Fields gets traded. Sam Howell gets traded. What are the Washington Commanders doing? Are the Miami Dolphins the best secondary ever in the NFL right now? What? Of course, we got to talk about a little bit Kenny Pickett. But first.
And now, Mike's thoughts.
It has come to my attention that the Dallas Cowboys have done 0 moves this offseason. It has been brought to my attention that the Cowboys have released Van Der Esch and Michael Gallup, and of course they traded Tyron Smith to the New York Jets. It has come to my attention that the only move that the Dallas Cowboys have made of bringing somebody in is a veteran linebacker in Eric Kendricks. And we got to thinking, we got to going back and forth, and many of those Cowboys haters are like, the Cowboys just suck. The Cowboys are no good. The Cowboys are this. The Cowboys are all in. Guys, the Cowboys already had a pretty damn good roster on the field. The Dallas Cowboys already have their quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys already have their number 1 and number 2 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. The Dallas Cowboys already have a top 5 defense in the NFL. Oh, but they lost Stephon Gilmore. Diggs is coming back. Bland had a hell of a season. Can't be replaced. He can't be replaced. Guys, for all you Cowboys fans out there, for all you Cowboy haters out there, slow it down, baby. The Dallas Cowboys are still on the pinnacle of the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys are still looking down on everybody else. The Dallas Cowboys are still America's team because they are that damn good. When the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl in 2024 NFL season, you will understand why they made 0 moves this offseason so far. You will understand why they are the America's greatest team to ever walk the planet. You will understand why they are called America's team. And then you will understand why Michael Buckeister is always right about the Dallas Cowboys. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckeister of the Man Hour. Sort of NFLtoday.co. Check out the blog section. Check out the stats. Check out the scores. Check out the merchandise section. Check everything that is happening over there at NFLtoday.co. The forums are live. They're active, and I want you guys to become a part of the forums there. We over here on the radio, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the TikToks, we're kind of censored, right? Every time I say something sexual in nature, I get a Facebook ban for 5 days. I can't do this, whatever, right? But over there at NFLtoday.co, on our forums, you can do whatever the hell you want. The only moderation is me. I am the only moderator over there, and if I don't like what you said, you've done something pretty bad. We only have a couple rules. Don't be talking about families. Don't be no personal attacks or anything stupid like that. But everything else, balls to the wall, to the moon, baby. But guys, if you are not a Pigskin Pundit already, click on the description below. Click on the link below. Become a Pigskin Pundit. You get merch, which will be shipping out in 2 weeks. Second quarter merch is being shipped out April 1st. We got after our show. We got behind the scenes footage. We have a lot of stuff over there at pigskinpundits.com. Or sorry, if you're a Pigskin Pundit, this week we're thinking Wednesday or Thursday we're going to be breaking down some film. We're going to have a poll over for our subscribers only. We'll see what film you guys want to break down, but this is a live interactive show, guys, so be sure to comment below. Comments are encouraged. Talk your shit, talk your stuff, but be ready to defend yourself because I have the most toxic comments section out there. Let's go ahead and welcome some people into the chat here. Speaking of Pigskin Pundit, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself. He is an NFL expert because his name has 4 letters in it. If your name does not have 4 letters in it, you cannot be an NFL expert. That is just the way it is. We got to welcome John Peoples into the chat. Good morning, John. Good morning. How are you doing? Grand old sir. Grand old sir. We also see Mama Buck is in the house. They're on the road back to Kansas. Hope they are driving well, being safe out there on those gritty streets. And if you guys are in the chat, go ahead and let us know. Let us know that you're in the chat. Give us a good morning. Give it a hashtag NH Live. But I got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, the loins to my jeans. No, I'm just kidding. Hoffy is not here today. Hoffy will be back sometime around July, August, once baseball season is over for his high school team. But I gotta get a shout out. Huge shout out to my little man. My little man Trip turns 4 today. The little man is growing like a tree, growing like a weed, and he is the most lovable little dude you will ever meet in your entire life when he's wearing pants. But some cross the news over the weekend, guys, happened on the NFL landscape. There's some news out there that I was kind of surprised to hear, kind of surprised to see, kind of like, what in the world is going on? But Aaron Donald, guys, has officially retired from the NFL. Aaron Donald has officially called it quits as his NFL career. He's only 32 years old. He was a 10-time Pro Bowler, 111 career sacks, Super Bowl champion, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Of course, he did flirt with it a couple years ago after he won the ring. And then the following season when the Rams were in complete rebuild mode and still made the playoffs. But Aaron Donald has officially retired from the NFL. This guy, we speak about first ballot Hall of Famers all the time. And guys, if Aaron Donald is not in the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame is a sham. I think the Hall of Fame is a sham anyways. Aaron Donald needs a own hall to himself. He came into the league and he dominated from day one. He has made the Pro Bowl every year of his 10-year career, and 8 times he was on the first team. Now, Aaron Donald had a great career in the NFL, and he will be surely missed. Kyler Murray is already saying, thank God he is gone. I'm sure Matthew Stafford thinks, oh, thank God he's gone. Geno Smith thinking the same thing. Was it last year? Aaron Donald came untouched. Geno Smith was in the pocket, and you hear, oh, God, right? And threw the ball away. But, yeah, Aaron Donald has officially retired from the NFL. It is what it is. Snow in the mitten. I don't know what that means. What got my man WB Ant is in the house tonight. Good morning to you, Ant, as well. And Wayne G is also in the chat. And Hoffy will have a new favorite team when he gets back. If he comes back, right? Because Hoffy is a 49ers fan and he's a Patriots fan. Last year he was a Miami Dolphins fan, flipped over to the Buffalo Bills, a little bit. Then he was flirting with the Cowboys and Chiefs. So it's a very good possibility that Hoffy will have a new team by the time he does come back. And then WB Ant breaks us some news here, and he says, I think Darnold will come back. Do you think Aaron Donald just wanted out of L.A.? So he's like, you know what? I'm going to retire. Maybe some teams will come calling mid-season. You know, maybe a team like the Kansas City Chiefs can get me to another Super Bowl ring. I don't know. Listen, he is only 32 years old, and I know there's a lot of 32-year-olds that still have a lot of left in the tank out there. There's a lot of players that are 33, 34, 35 that do wake up every day like, man, I hate going to work. And when we look at the NFL in general, 9 times out of 10 when somebody does retire, it is because they mentally do not want to play or prepare for the game. Their ability is not gone. They can still perform on Sundays, day in and day out. I guarantee you that. Aaron Donald can step on the field right now and dominate anybody out there. He can take 2 months off, not hit the gym one time, and he could probably dominate anybody that's in front of him. The mental preparation for an NFL game is so tough. It is the Monday, it's the film, it's the meetings, it's the Tuesday, it's the film, it's the practice, it's the Wednesday, it's the full contact practice. Thursday is the fine tuning of the of the game plan. It's the Friday, your final preparation day. Get in there, yada yada yada. It's the Saturday's walkthrough. Like preparing for a game, guys, is more distinguished on the body than an actual game is. Now, a game does wear and tear on your body. Don't get me wrong. I remember vividly when we would play Saturday, Sunday. I couldn't put my shoes on. Monday, I could mainly start to stretch my back a little bit, slide my shoes on, wear some slippers. Monday, okay, starting to feel a little bit better. Oh, Tuesday, we had a full contact practice. Man, I'm back to where I was waking up. There's a reason why college and NFL athletes wear slides all the time. It's because we legitimately cannot put on our shoes. Usually by Friday or Saturday, we're like, okay, give me that shot. We're ready, right? We are ready. We're ready. John says the biggest move of the weekend was after the Rams finally got Jimmy G. John is saying Aaron Donald retired because Jimmy G came into town. I don't want none of that Jimmy G, he says. John says, means it's snowing in Michigan. Come on, Buck. So apparently snow in the mitten means it's snowing in Michigan. See, when I hear snow in the mitten, I'm thinking something totally different. My head goes directly to the gutter. My head goes directly to your 5-finger death punch on the grip, screaming for mercy, beating it till it bleeds. If you know, you know. Wayne G says, I wear slides because I'm fat and I don't like tying my shoes. I wear slides all through college because I legit couldn't put on my shoes. It is what it is. But let's get into the title segment of today's show, guys. And as you know by now, the Pittsburgh Steelers are making some moves. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in this free agent market, and they're going all in on everybody. They did sign Russell Wilson to that $1.9 million deal, basically to become the starter. But over the weekend, the Pittsburgh Steelers have made a trade for their true backup quarterback in Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers have officially agreed to terms to trade Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a 6th-round pick. From a 6th-round pick. So now the Pittsburgh Steelers have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as their 1 and 2 quarterbacks. Oh, but where's Kenny Pickett? Kenny Pickett got traded to the Seattle Seahawks, I believe, for a 3rd and a 4th round pick. So you get Kenny Pickett out, you get a 3rd and a 4th round pick, you bring Justin Fields in for a 6th round pick. Guys, quickly, the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback room went from one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst quarterback room, 2nd, 3rd, 4th string, to potentially one of the best quarterbacks rooms in the NFL. You have a crafty vet, 36-year-old Russell Wilson. You have a former very, very top pick. What was he, the number 1 overall pick? Either way, Justin Fields, a top pick just a few years ago. We all agree that the Chicago Bears did nothing to expedite his potential. But then they still got, is a 20th overall pick? Yeah, they still got the 20th overall pick. They could draft a quarterback. They could draft a Bo Nix, a Michael Penix Jr., Joe Mixon III. They have an opportunity to have the best quarterback room ever in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying Russell Wilson is the best quarterback. I'm not saying Justin Fields is the best quarterback. I'm not saying whoever they draft, if they draft a quarterback, is going to be the best draft pick. But from top to bottom, in that whole room, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the best quarterback core of everybody in the NFL. Better than the Ravens, better than the Lions with Jared Goff and Henderson, right? Better than the Rams with Matthew Stafford and Jimmy G. Better than the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and whoever their backup is now. Better than the Cowboys and Dak Prescott with Trey Lance. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the best quarterback room. So when we look at the Justin Fields trade, many people are like, well, why would you trade for Justin Fields? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Justin Fields wanted to come to Pittsburgh. Justin Fields wanted to leave Chicago and wanted to come play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, obviously, he wanted to be the starter. He didn't want to come there to be a backup. So he's going to come in there and be a competitive backing of Russell, right? Competitiveness brings out the best of both players. But this gives Justin Fields an opportunity to step back. This gives an opportunity for Justin Fields to step back and really evaluate his ability on and off the field. Learn from Russell Wilson. Learn from his mistakes. Learn from a veteran Super Bowl winning quarterback. This also gives Mike Tomlin to grow and groom Justin Fields into a potential quarterback that he wants him to be. Kind of like the Baker Mayfield effect, per se. What do you mean? Baker Mayfield signed a flyer to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for like a $3 million deal. Now he got $100 million. $100 million. That could be the next Justin Fields. Or that could be Justin Fields, right? Pittsburgh Steelers are in a win-win-win situation here. If Russell Wilson sucks, we only got him for $1.9 million. Bench his ass. Justin Fields comes in. Justin Fields sucks. Whatever. We got him for a sixth round pick. Then you draft a quarterback. Guys, the Steelers are in a win-win-win-win-win spot here. Even at number 20. If they don't draft a quarterback, they're probably going to draft a receiver. Brian Thompson from LSU or Troy Franklin from Oregon State. Guys, I bet you Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers win a Super Bowl before the Chicago Bears do. Just saying. What do you guys think? Well, what do you guys think about the Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is it a great move? Is it a top move? Is it a top not move? Is it a Super Bowl caliber move? Let me know in the comments below. John People says the right way. And says Steelers are looking like a dark horse for the Super Bowl in the AFC. I don't think they're a dark horse. I think they're the front runner, Ant. When you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, I feel they are a front runner in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl. Granted, your Ravens, Ant, did make some good moves. I love the move of Derrick Henry. But I cannot overlook the losses of Patrick Queen and Darby and Stone. Those are big losses on the defensive side of the ball. They're like, they're old or whatever. And they're still big losses. The Pittsburgh Steelers are doing everything right this season, this free agency season, right? The Steelers of the past were all like, build within, build the team, draft our guys, build them to what we want to be. We will win with who we got. We all we need, right? Well, guess what? Pittsburgh Steelers have turned over a new leaf. They're in a win-now situation. They're reaching out. They're cherry-picking their guys. We want this guy. We want this guy. We are going to win. Mike Tomlin started that last year when he fired Matt Canada mid-season. No, Pickett went to the Eagles. You are correct. My bad. My bad on that. Who didn't a quarterback go to the Seahawks too, though? I can't remember. I know Drew Lock went to somewhere over there, but whatever. Wayne G says the Fields move is perplexing because he's the last year of his rookie deal. Take a playbook out of the Green Bay Packers from 2 years ago, right? Aaron Rodgers was their quarterback. Jordan Love going on the last year of his deal. Basically signed a 1-year prove-it deal, right? Jordan Love kind of proved that he was the guy. Signed him to a long-term deal, not a breaking of the bank deal by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel like if the Steelers like Justin Fields, like what they see, you're going to see a 1-year, $8 million, $7 million deal. Prove it to me that you are the man next season type of deal. And John says, Carolina. What about Carolina? Are the Carolinas the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC? I don't think so. Get out of here with that crap. John says Eagles are going to get 49% of the snaps. Okay. I don't agree with that. I think Mike Tomlin is going to go in with a quarterback. It isn't going to be a one game this guy, one game that guy. Excuse me, allergies. But we all know the outage here. If you have 2 starting quarterbacks, air quotes, you actually have 0 starting quarterbacks. So I think Mike Tomlin knows that, and he is going to go in there with Russell Wilson being the starter. Actually, I do have a note saying here that Mike Tomlin actually did reach out to Russ after this trade was made, saying that he is our starter still. Russell Wilson is the starter in Pittsburgh as of right now. John People says, so Pittsburgh doesn't have to pay either bonuses. Okay. So, first of all, Russell Wilson doesn't get any type of bonus whatsoever. He gets the league veteran minimum of $1.9 million. He is getting his money from the Denver Broncos still, no matter what. The kicker is Justin Fields. If he plays, maybe it's over 50% of the snaps, then that 6th-round pick becomes a 4th-round pick. I don't think the Steelers matter because they got a 3rd and a 4th-round pick from Kenny Pickett. So it's still a win-win situation in their mind here. James says Fields is a Tomlin-style quarterback. He shares some of the same traits that Big Ben had. A young Big Ben, right? Nice scrambling, nice big body rolling down the field, nice big strong arm. Does Justin Fields have a nice big strong arm? I don't know. I don't remember really seeing Justin Fields push the ball down the field too much as a Bear. I have to go back to his college tape to see if he had that strong arm in college. But I can kind of see where you're going with that, James. They both like very, very young girls. They both have. No, I'm kidding. But Justin Fields, I think, does fit the Pittsburgh Steelers very, very well. Ant says, if they are smart, they'll take a wide receiver to elevate their offense. They need a deep threat to compete with George Pickens. They did trade Deontay Johnson to the Carolina Panthers. So the receiving room is kind of thin a little bit. So at 20, I do anticipate them drafting a wide receiver. I do anticipate them going to the LSU guy, who is it, Brian Thomas, or the Oregon State guy in Troy Franklin. Good late 1st-round wide receiver picks. Also, Mike Williams is coming to Pittsburgh this weekend on a free agent tour, right? Mike Williams is expected to travel to, was it Carolina, Pittsburgh, and was it Tampa was the other guy? Like I don't know. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers know that they need to elevate, bring a nice number 2, if not a number 3 guy in there for George Pickens. But the Steelers are going to be dangerous, guys. Jim says Rush can teach Fields how to schedule appointments with his teammates. This guy always got jokes. And says, I agree. We got to beef up our secondary, meaning the Baltimore Ravens. That's my only concern. We still have our big 3 defense, Rokon, Kyle Hamilton, and I'm not going to pronounce the guy's name right, but it's the defensive tackle they just signed for like $150 million or whatever. Ravens secondary or defense in general is still pretty good. But I think Patrick Queen was your X factor. I think Patrick Queen was the X factor. John, with the hot take here, he says, if the Pittsburgh Steelers do not go to the Super Bowl this season, Mike Tomlin will be on the hot seat. This is what is good about the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. Mike Tomlin, correct me if I'm wrong, is the 3rd coach ever in Pittsburgh Steelers history. Every coach before that has basically left on his own terms. So basically the owner and the general manager kind of basically gives the coaching free reins to come and go as they please. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as a tenure as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Granted, they have lost 7 years in a row in the wild card round. 7 years in the last 7 times they made it to the playoffs, they've lost in the wild card round. I get that. But when you are consistently winning 9, 8, 9, 10 wins every season, year in and year out, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers and their fan base are okay with that. I think Mike Tomlin is loved and adored so much in Pittsburgh that you do not just shoo away Mike Tomlin. Now, there could be some type of mutual agreement, right? Air quotes there. But come on, Mike Tomlin is not going anywhere anytime soon. Is definitely not on the hot seat. Mike Tomlin is not on the hot seat. No way, no how. Worst quarterback in the room. James says, yes, Justin Fields does have a cannon. I don't remember that cannon, but we'll have to, maybe that's the film we need to break down for our pigskin pundits on Wednesdays. Is some Justin Fields film there. Let's check out some Justin Fields film, and we'll see what happens. But guys, it is Monday, and we're going to bring back the old valid versus hogwash. That's hogwash, they say. But I've been talking up to my man Arthur Brown for several days here. He loves his Miami Dolphins. My man Arthur Brown loves him some Miami Dolphins. Last year we were hoping to link up with the Chiefs and Dolphins game, but they decided to put that like overseas. But long story short, guys, this valid or hogwash is very, very simple. We will put out a statement, and I want you to determine if it's valid, yes, I agree with it, or if it's hogwash. Get that crap out of here. We don't need none of that hogwash water down here. But it is what it is. But the Miami Dolphins have been adding some many pieces to their secondary since they've struck out on the Christian Wilkins saga. They've added vets such as Kendall Fuller. They added Jordan Poyer from the Buffalo Bills. And of course, Jalen Ramsey is coming off a short but effective season last season. So is it valid or is it hogwash that the Miami Dolphins secondary got even better this off season? When we look at the Miami Dolphins secondary, guys, last season, at the start of the season, they were ranked number 1 in the secondary in the NFL. Number 1. Of course, now so far they've lost Xavier Howard. He is now gone, but Kendall Fuller does come in. I think Kendall Fuller is a better secondary safety cornerback, wherever position you think he is going to play in Miami, than Xavier Howard. Kendall Fuller is a ball hawk. He always seems to be around the ball. When he was with the Washington Commanders, you could always watch his number. I think it was number 29. And you would always see him flying around the field from left to right, right to left, up and down, back and forward. He was always in the mix. 79 tackles last season as a secondary player. What? Secondary players don't get over 40 to 50 tackles. He damn near had 80. Those are linebacker numbers, type of tackles. Also had 2 interceptions. So take out Xavier Howard, take out Eli Apple, take out whoever else they lost, add Fuller, bring in Jalen Ramsey time again, and I think the secondary got a hell of a lot better. I think it's valid. I do think the Miami Dolphins secondary got a hell of a lot better. However, it is hard to defend your receivers, your tight ends, your running backs for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds. It is hard to defend top-notch receivers for a very, very long time. When you lose linebackers like Van Ginkel and you lose a defensive tackle like Christian Wilkins, that front seven got hell of a lot worse. That front seven might be one of the worst in the NFL. Secondary could be one of the best. On paper, they could be one of the best all-pro secondaries ever, but it is tough to cover for 6 or 7, 8 seconds. They better find some defensive help quickly as a linebacker and the front four quickly, or this is going to be all for naught. I do this think the secondary got better by adding Kendall Fuller and, of course, Jordan Poyer as well, and Jalen Ramsey should be playing the full season this year. They did get a hell of a lot better, but there's a caveat. the front seven got a hell of a lot worse. So it is valid, but there's going to be an asterisk by it. They got better, but front seven got a hell of a lot worse. In the comments, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking? James says, we got better. He says it is valid. We got better in the secondary, says James. He loves him some Fuller, loves him some Jordan Poyer, loves a full, healthy Jalen Ramsey. We'll see. John says it's hogwash. Kendall Fuller, over the hill, he says. Jordan Poyer, there's a reason why the Buffalo Bills got rid of him. Hogwash. Hogwash. Ant says the real question is, will the Dolphins sign Tua to an extension and how much? At this particular point, the Dolphins can't sign nobody. Everybody they're signing are like pennies on the dollar almost. Right? Jordan Poyer came in on a very incentive-based contract. Kendall Fuller wanted to come back home to Miami. The Tua issue is very interesting in Miami because Tua was a MVP conversational type of piece last season. He was in the MVP talks. So was Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill popped out 3 kids later in the same season by 3 different women. One of them not his wife. Went downhill. Tua is a player that's going to get paid by somebody. Somebody is going to take a flyer on Tua and give him maybe a Baker Mayfield type of deal. 3 years, $100 million, 4 years, $120 million deals. Some about $35 to $40 million range. That's basically right where the quarterbacks are going to be, and I think that's where Tua is going to be. I do not think Miami is going to be that team that takes a flyer on him. It is going to be a team that strikes out this year in the quarterback realm, i.e. the Las Vegas Raiders, i.e. the Seattle Seahawks, i.e. the Arizona Cardinals. Tua is going to end up on a different team next season. He is not going to get an extension, I don't think. Jim says hogwash. Still just lesbians. XT Gamer says, hey, from the beach. Look at my man on the beach in Florida on spring break, loving life. What is up, XT Gamer? John People says, but thank you, Wilkins. Sign Arthur Brown. Yeah, Wilkins to the Raiders was a huge deal. But I'm going to go with valid. You guys are saying hogwash in the chat, except for James. James think they got a hell of a lot better. But let's move on to the next valid or hogwash of the day. The next one is going to be up to the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders have been trading everybody and their dog and bringing everybody and their dog in. A lot of sloppy seconds from the Dallas Cowboys. But the Washington Commanders officially trade Sam Howell to the Seattle Seahawks for a 3rd and a 5th round pick. They also did sign Marcus Mariota and still have Jake Fromm on the roster. So it's going to be valid or it's going to be hogwash that the Washington Commanders have to take a quarterback at number 2 in this year's draft. When we look at the Washington Commanders draft right now, they do have the number 2 overall pick, the number 36 and 40th picks as well. Those are the top 5 and 8 picks in the 2nd round. They could potentially move back in the draft. Somebody like the Raiders can swipe up in the 2nd spot, or the Giants or the Jets. Somebody could slide up into the 2nd spot, give them a lot more draft capital. They move back a few spots and they can still get a quarterback. But I think it is valid that the Washington Commanders have to take a quarterback in this year's draft. Now, it does not have to be at number 2. I don't think if you are sold on a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels or a Caleb Williams for even that matter, if you're not 100% sold on that guy, trade out of that pick. Trade out of the number 2 pick if you are not sold on those 3 guys. Because when you look at the early second round, or if you move out of your second, move down to an 8th, 9th, 10th, if not 15th pick, there's still going to be a really lot of good quarterbacks out there that I think have more upside than Drake May and Caleb Williams. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback in this year's draft, but you got quarterbacks such as Bo Nix. Perfect fit in Washington, I think. Spencer Rattler. My man John loves him some Spencer Rattler. You also got Penix Jr. These guys are quarterbacks that are probably going to go day 2, if not really late first round. So if you are the Washington Commanders, if you are not sold on Drake May, Jaden Daniels, or Caleb Williams, trade out of that number 2 pick. Get yourself the guy that you think can really take you to the moon. Hell, maybe give Jake Fromm a chance. But I think it is valid that the Commanders have to draft a quarterback with their first pick. Now, is that at number 2? I don't know. They could trade back. But I do think their first pick of this year's draft will be a quarterback. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Do the Washington Commanders trade out of the number 2 pick? Do they draft a quarterback in their 36th overall pick? What do you guys think the Commanders do in this year's draft? Because I think they're all in. They're getting a lot of sloppy seconds. I think they're all in on this season. James says it's funny. Bills fan loved Poyer and like until he got cut, and now all of a sudden he sucks. Yeah, that's the way it is, man. That is the way of the landscape. Just like Hollywood Brown, he was the greatest thing since sliced bread in Arizona, and I believe it was Kyler Murray said, "You are dead to us now." Right? I mean, it is what I think. And says that's what I'm thinking to a deal like Maker Bayfield type of deal. Was that for Tua? I don't know. Biggest health concern. John says there's that Raider derangement syndrome that we're again. Listen, I don't speak big words, but the Raiders fuck up every season. Jim Powell says, did the XT Gamer get his Max Jones jersey yet? Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. James says, I think Sam Howell has a big upside if the Skins build around him. Sam Howell is no longer a part of the Washington Commanders. He was traded to the Arizona Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken. Or to the Seahawks. He was traded to the Seahawks. So right now, the Washington Commanders quarterback room consists of Marcus Mariota and Jake Fromm. Sam Howell is out. He'll be a backup to Geno Smith. John says it's a valid statement to back up Marcus Mariota. John thinks Marcus Mariota is going to be the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders in 2024. Guys, did you see the press conference for Marcus Mariota? This guy looks like an old man. His hair is gray. His eyes are super saggy. He looks like he has just spent like 14 nights drinking and smoking and hasn't slept in his own bed. Marcus Mariota looked a little rough. Maybe that dad life isn't for a NFL quarterback like Marcus Mariota. John jumping up here says Washington will be trading that number 2 overall pick. I think they should, to be honest. Because I am not sold on Caleb Williams. I am not sold on Drake May. I think Jaden Daniels will be the best option out there. I think he has the brightest future of the NFL quarterback out there in Jaden Daniels. And if the Chicago Bears are smart, that's who they would take is Jaden Daniels. And then at that particular point, once Jaden Daniels is off the board, and you know that, your first call is going to be to the Las Vegas Raiders. You want Caleb Williams? What do you got for us? Jim says, Marcus Mariota could have been our bridge, but we need Jimmy G for some reason. Could have. As a Raiders fan. Listen, Jimmy G's a winner, baby. Jimmy G's a winner. Ant says, Commanders are just trash and always will be. Not wrong. James says, what? working 12s, you miss a lot. Yeah. That was so the Sam Howell trade happened on a Thursday, right? Because I was prepping for the Friday show. My wife's like, I'm going to go to the party store. 2 hours later, she shows up back home. And it's like 11:30. I'm like, oh. And of course, we had the hole in the roof. And yeah. But yeah, that happened Wednesday or Thursday. Josh Dobbs will be the starting Washington quarterback. No, he won't. Josh Dobbs will not find himself on another NFL roster. This man is going to end up on the moon, literally on the moon, as an aerospace engineer or whatever he is. Josh Dobbs' career in the NFL is over. The Washington quarterback will either be Jake Fromm from the Quarterback One Netflix special, which I really liked Jake Fromm when he was on that and went to Georgia. I thought he was I thought he had a really good opportunity in Buffalo. Was it Buffalo that he got drafted to? Can't remember. But I think the Washington Commanders will be starting a rookie quarterback this season, whether it's Jalen Daniels, whether it's Drake May, Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., one of those 6 is going to be starting in Washington this season. It is what it is. Ant says, I agree. Jaden is special. When I watched Jaden Daniels at the pro day, watched him do the athletic things, throwing the ball was like 62 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, whatever it was. But the reason why I am so sold on Jaden Daniels right now is during that pro day, he was asked by a reporter, why are you not throwing at this pro day? The combine. Why are you not out here showcasing your skills? You know what he said? He said, there were many of my teammates that were not invited to the combine that deserves to get looks. I'm going to use my platform, my ability. All those people want to come down and see me on my pro day, throw the ball. I'm going to let those other kids show out. I'm going to let those receivers by the name of, what's his name? Brian Johnson, right? Is that the guy's name? Go back in there. Yeah, Brian Thomas. I'm going to let him show out. I'm going to let my running backs and old line get in front of the scouts and show out. Jaden Daniels is an all team guy. He is not a me guy. He is a team guy, and that put him over the top. Over Caleb Williams, Mr. Dad trying to buy ownership into a team for drafting him or saying he's going to go play for the Dodgers or this or whatever, right? Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback out there. He has the best head on his shoulders. He will go to a team like Chicago, to a team like Washington, and really embrace the rebuild process and understand, this is a grind. I think Jaden Daniels is the guy. John says, LMFAO, not the band, but laughing my butt off. No Caleb, Cry Williams in Vegas. Listen, if Caleb Williams does not go number 1 overall, this reminds me of the movie Draft Day. When everybody thought that quarterback from said school, whatever it was going to go number 1 overall. It was the Cleveland Browns, traded up to that number 1 overall pick, and then they passed on him, right? They're like, oh, no, he isn't our guy. And then he kept dropping, and he kept dropping, and he kept dropping. And many people are saying, why is this guy dropping? Why is this guy dropping? That could be Caleb Williams on draft night, guys. That could be Caleb Williams. If he doesn't go number 1 overall, he could drop to 8, 9, 10. And if the Raiders do not move up and get him at number 2, they'll take him at their number 9 spot. But either way. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. It is off season, so we're kind of condensing things a little bit. It is spring break here in the Buckheister household, so we gotta do a few things. But tomorrow we got Overreaction Tuesday coming upon us. We got Overreaction Tuesday coming, and we are going to overreact to a lot of things happening across the NFL landscape, such as trades, acquisitions, and potential draft picks. All that much more coming up tomorrow, guys. 10 a.m. East Coast time, same place. Facebook.com/Man Hour NFL Talk, of course, YouTube.com/Man Hour, and of course at NFLtoday.co. See you guys tomorrow. We out.